Hi everybody and a big welcome to cEDH TV gameplay. Me and Pontus are playing against Joel.
Hello there guys.
And Snuske.
Hello.
Alright, today guys I'm playing another Esper deck. This is actually Pontus deck that I'm trying out. The new card Sauroman is revealed. If I cast my second spell, I can steal something from my opponent's graveyard to make a copy of it.
And I'm playing the new Sauron, the Dark Lord. This is basically just a Grixis stockpile with Sauron, because Sauron gives like some extra value and like half a wheel each turn if you attack with a army. So that seems pretty good. So just basic Grixis, but with like Sauron as spice.
I'm playing Flamplebird. He's a big boy and he grows. And he deals 1 damage as often as possible. But yeah, basically rakdos with a basic rakdos pile, plus weird stuff like All Will Be One and Mana Barbs, because All Will Be One goes infinite without nixilis, and Mana Barbs is funny.
Me, Slicer, mono red aggro, trying to put my commander to play and making my opponents kill each other. It's kind of fun. It has some problems, but it's still a really fun deck. It is one of those decks where you just lean back and observe your opponents killing each other. And with that, let's take a look at some opening hands.
Okay, so this hand is kinda interesting because we have a turn 1 fish. We also have, if we happen to draw a land, we can also potentially play Grim Monolith turn 2 and not keep the fish if we get overfeeded. Or if we get a land, we can just play it and pay for the fish for the next turn if we expect. We are first in turn order, which is great when you have a fish turn 1. And I expect Pontus to kinda ramp out a lot because he's a Grixis deck and that's what Grixis do. I'm actually gonna try this.
So this hand is pretty fine. We have a turn 2 Rustic if we just vamp for crypts, but I think this is a bit too awkward to keep as a first 7. Turn 2 Rustic is pretty good, like that's perfectly on rate. Keeping a first 7 where you don't have any mana and you have to vamp, so you're losing a card as well, just to develop a turn 2 Rustic. If we're going first, maybe. Going second, I think I want to look for something better. Especially since like just developing Sauron of mana is actually pretty good. So go to second 7. Second 7 has more mana in that it has a Ragavan. But yeah, we don't really have any early payoffs. We would be gambling on Ragavan hits, which is, while pretty good, it's not something I'm very interested in gambling on. And the cards in hand are fine, not great. Like the Pact is pretty dead because we're not winning early. And we don't have the mana to pay for Pact on our turn. Mind Rig Trap is good. Ballesteral is far away. Final Fortune also kind of far away. So let's go to 6. A no-lander. That's not a keep. Go to 5. I hate to keep this, don't I? Yeah. Yeah, so this hand isn't that good either. If we were to keep 5, keeping 4 lands, or 3 lands, Felwar, Pyro. Always do the pre-game, so it would be 2 lands, Pyro, Felwar Stone. It's really sad, though. We would be untapping turn 2 with 3 mana, guaranteed. Maybe 4 mana if we hit the land drop. Nothing to use 4 mana on. Sauron is 2 mana away, that's not that bad. This is really bad, but it's also not that bad. We could keep this, but it would just be a turn 1 Felwar Stone with Pyro up for the rest of the game. So with the fact that we have 2 non-blue decks, I'm not going to keep this. I feel like I should, but I'm not going to, because neither Pyro or Calling the Weak is live enough for me, and just keeping lands in the Felwar Stone feels really bad. I'll go to 4. Yeah, this is a insta-keep. If this was a 5, it would be really good. Sadly, it isn't. If this was a 5, would keep land, Chromox, 2 talismans, Chromox, land. That's 4. Cabal Writ, hope to top deck a colored source. That would be great on a 5. But on a 4, we always bottom the Brain Freeze. Probably bottom a Talisman. This is a sad hand, but it's a keep. We're pretty much keeping our 5 anyways, honestly. But we get to be a bit sad because we didn't get to keep this on the 5.
So this hand is absolutely amazing. We're a snap keep. We have a Jeweled Lotus for a turn 1 commander, but we also have a Gemstone Caverns, and we can pitch one of the mountains, which means that we're gonna have a turn 1 Torpor Orb together with a turn 1 commander. And from here we should hopefully top deck into something good. But this is a commander that actually started pressuring early in the game. So even though we don't really have like a value engine, like some card draw effect in our hand, we're fine because this is a commander that actually kills people pretty fast. So, snap keep. Let's take a look at what Snuske is able to find.
Turn 1 of Nixilis is fine. The no follow-up in lands is rough, but we're lucky there's like fetches and stuff that we can play around with. There's 7. A second land would just give us an abrade. I think we can do better. Turn 1 of Nixilis is what you want to do with this deck, but you want to have some kind of follow-up and just not rely on the damage. So we're going to go to second. And we are immediately punished. This is not a keep. Only 1 colorless source. The rest is kind of meh. Go to 6. This is fine. This is turn 2 of Nixilis with actual mana. So we'll just start off with a Felwar Stone and then we can start slowly moving up from there. The Felwar Stone should temper what we need. So we'll keep this and we'll bottom the Praetor.
So I have a pregame effect. I have this Gemstone Caverns. I'm going to pitch a mountain to that.
Draw a card. I would like to play this Verdant Catacomb. I would like to lose 1 life and crack it. Taking Underground Sea. Tap 1 to play a fish. Alrighty, then I pass my turn.
It does, yeah. Martial arts. I will fetch, finding a Underground Sea, and passing turn.
I will go to my turn, untap and draw a card. I'm gonna play this mountain, and I'm gonna cast this Jeweled Lotus, and the fish can draw a card. Go ahead. I will immediately sacrifice it for 3 red. Slicer, hired, speed, something. And this is a non-creature spell. It has living living metal, so it's a creature in play, but fish will still trigger and Jewel can draw a card. Now that I have been given Jewel, the Sauroman player, a little bit too many cards, we're gonna smack him for 3 damage.
No blocks, I take 3.
This will convert or transform Slicer into the hired muscle version, and from here, I pass the turn.
Upkeep.
You can have a Slicer.
Yay. I will draw for my turn. I will play this Ancient Tune, and I will tap it for a Felwar Stone. I would like to move to combat, because I don't have a choice. Swing at Sauroman.
Sauroman doesn't block. He takes 6.
Pass my turn.
Now, you get Slicer!
Hooray! Upkeep trigger fish. I'm actually considering letting fish die here. I would like to play a Vampiric Tutor. Alright, so as we see, I'm getting hit a lot with Slicer. So I feel like my life is gonna run really, really low. And therefore, the Adnos in my hand is not as good as we were hoping, because we didn't draw a black source of land, else we could probably get Vampiric Tutor into Mana Crypt to play out my Grim Monolith, and thereafter play Adnos, but it's too much a life loss with a Slicer on the board. So I'm actually, because Sauroman has the ability to steal something from my opponent's graveyard, so filling up their graveyard now could actually be good. We have seen that Pontus didn't play much of his hand. Also Snuske, he did just ramp out a card as well. So and also Mons only played 1 card. So I'm actually considering a little bit a wheel here, just playing Mana Crypt, play land. I think we're gonna tutor for Mana Crypt here. Then I go to my draw step, draw a card. Pontus, lose 2 life and see your hand. Well, that was a little bit unlucky to draw, but it happens. I'm gonna play Otawara. I'm gonna play Mana Crypt and play a Grim Monolith and have 1 mana floating and play a Windfall. Hand size is 5, so everyone is gonna discard a hand and draw 5 cards. After that, with my colorless mana, I'm gonna play this Grafdigger's Cage.
Wait, Joel, why am I running that in my list?
I don't know, you tell me.
That's a pretty bad card for you.
Oh yeah, at least Sauroman's effect get through it, but he creates a copy.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's a good card then. That's smart.
Yeah, I have to attack. That is a fact. And there was 1 guy who attacked me. So right back at you, Snuske. Slicer.
I am legit not on Adnos, but sure.
I'm gonna pass my turn.
Pontus, I have a gift to you. I give you Slicer.
Wow, it's just here.
Yes!
Land for turn will be a volcanic island. I would like to move to combat. So Slicer is goaded, which means it cannot attack mons. But I can't read, so 3 at once.
No.
I will swing 6 at Joel.
Come on, Pontus. I thought we were Lord of the Ring friends here.
You're just my loyal servant. I can do whatever I want with you.
Take my turn, untap and regain Slicer and draw a card. So that windfall really gave us a lot of fuel. Now here's the thing, they've also gained a lot of fuel, and I have a very powerful card called Planar Chaos. This is an amazing, or amazing is actually a very strong word in this case, it's not that busted, but it's a very good Stax effect. However, it will make us tap out, and I have a value engine that I can put into play, an equipment that will basically make me draw a lot of cards through this deck, which is gonna set us up for a longer game. So I'm gonna put this homeward path into play, kinda key, very important. However, we're gonna tap out because we're gonna cast this Mask of Memory equipment. And then I'm gonna equip it to my Slicer. Now the mask equipment will follow around the turn cycle when people control my Slicer, but I am the one controlling the Mask of Memory, so I will gain the benefits from it.
Response to equip.
No.
Snap Slicer.
Oh, I have no response to that. Slicer will go to my hand.
My turn is going to be very simple. I'm just going to play this command tower and cast my command up nixilis.
Upkeep, we do have a trigger. Heads! Yay! No damage. Draw a card. Marsh flats. But since we have an nixilis here, I will not crack it yet. Pass my turn.
Land for turn will be this Wooded Foothills. Since I don't have castable cards in my hand, I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna go to my turn, untap and draw a card. I'm gonna play this mountain. So I'm gonna begin by casting this guy from my hand as the vehicle for living weapon version, a cheaper version. Then I'm gonna equip it with my Mask of Memories. And then we're going to combat. Now we need to reduce Pontus' life total. He's counting back into the game, so let's start with that. Punching Pontus for free.
No blocks, take 3.
This will trigger my equipment.
Response. I would like to tap 4 card to play a Notion Thief.
I have no response to Notion Thief. Notion Thief resolves. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card. I will choose not to do that. Nice there. I would like to move to the end of combat where Slicer is going to turn over to a creature.
I have a response to that because your commander or your Slicer's CMC is free, right? I would like to fetch, thus triggering nixilis.
This is a gamble.
A Scrubland, and tap Scrubland to play Fatal Push on Slicer.
I have no response to Fatal Push. He is pushed off a cliff and he goes to command zone, and here I will pass the turn.
Because I have this Karadec Parasite that I would like to cast. Karadec Parasite is, like, aside from the new Orcish Bowmasters, probably one of the best creatures in the deck, because every time an opponent draws a card, as long as I control nixilis, I deal 1 damage to that player, which triggers nixilis. Nice value engine. I hope that Notion Thief is going to work out for you, just like you thought. Let's make sure my smile is on screen. Tap this Felwar Stone. Cast a Monkey. I'm going to attack Pontus for 5.
No blocks, take 5.
Then I'm going to pass my turn.
Upkeep. As usual, tail is damage. I flip heads again. I'm lucky today. Draw a card.
Here my nixilis. And exile a Mana Crypt.
I'm gonna play this fetch land. Yeah, cracking it, losing a life, giving you a card draw.
Thank you. I would like to trigger up nixilis. Get a grinding station.
All my mana to play Sauroman. Sauroman has Ward, discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery. So removing him is kinda 2 for 1, which is pretty nice. Otherwise, he has a really complicated ability, or there's many that misread this, but what it does is when I cast my second spell, each opponent mills 2 card. Then, when 1 or more card are milled this way, I can exile an enchantment, an instant, or a sorcery card equal to or less the mana value from the spell that I casted, the second spell that I casted from an opponent's graveyard. Copy that exiled card and cast a copy without playing its mana cost. Passing my turn after that.
In your end step, I would like to fetch Trigger of Nixilis.
Yay! It's a Grim Tutor.
Finding a tapped Blood Crypt.
When you draw a card for turn, I will trigger up Nixilis. Get a Wheel of Fortune.
Sadly, Slicer isn't in play. I would love to make Mon's life even harder than it is, but I'll just cast this Toxic Deluge now, paying 8 life to kill the board.
I would like to float one colorless. I'd like to cast a Tybalt's Trickery that I just added to the deck yesterday.
You will. Save yourself.
Pass on that.
I pass as well.
I pass as well.
I will roll a 6-sided die. 1, 2 is 1, etc. 4, please mill 2 cards.
And Chromox. Whoa! Yeah, so I cannot cast it. I'll put these two on the bottom of my library. Pass turn.
Draw a card.
Exile a Chandra's Ignition. It's getting better.
We are so dead once I pass turn. So there's only one thing to do. I'm gonna cast my Stax piece. Planar Chaos. This is a red 3-mana enchantment that reads, at the beginning of my upkeep, I will flip a coin. If I lose, I sacrifice this. However, whenever a player plays a spell, that player flips a coin. If he or she loses the flip, counter that spell. Pass the turn, go for it.
Okay. I will untap and draw a card. I had such a sick line to just win instantly. Let's start flipping coins, I guess. Cast this Mana Crypt. Heads will always be counter. It's tails. I have a Mana Crypt. We got past the first step. Shock in this Blood Crypt, losing 2 life. I guess we just try and go for it, right? Cast a Wheel of Fortune. Trigger Planar Chaos. Heads is counter. It is heads. Wheel of Fortune is countered. What do we do now?
Mono red control.
Keradak Parasite will go at Mons, and Ragavan will also go at.
No blocks, take 12.
I take 1.
And on damage, we have 2 triggers. I'd like the Keradak Parasite trigger to go first, so I will buff up Nixilis, exile a card, which is a luxury suite. And then we have the Ragavan trigger. I will make a treasure and get a card from pawn. It's not useful to cast this grinding station, losing 2 life. Hey, it goes to the graveyard.
Planar Chaos!
Planar Chaos sucks. I will pass my turn.
Upkeep. I will flip a coin and tail is damage. Heads again. I draw a card.
Have a trigger. You can take 1. The Thing. It's a mana confluence.
City of Brass. Mana Crypt for 2 mana. Tap Underground Sea. Tap Scrubland. I would like to cast a Praetor's Grasp. Let's pray to the gods of luck that luck will be on my side. Alright, so tails and it's countered. I flipped heads, targeting Pontus. Do you have Wheel of Fortune in your deck, Pontus?
I do.
Very good. Okay, so I'm taking Wheel of Fortune. The fun part is that it might kill me. Either I could cast a Toxic Deluge and Wheel, or probably if my Toxic Deluge get countered, I will cast a Wheel and die a horrible death. And 1 damage, so that will trigger of Nixilis just to get the red mana source.
Exile a Consultation.
And casting Wheel of Fortune. So because of that I'm the active player, Sauroman's trigger will be put on stack, and then the Planar Chaos triggered ability will be put after that, so the wheel might get countered before I even cast Toxic Deluge. Tails is counter, and I flipped heads again. So Wheel of Fortune will happen. I don't know if I should be happy about that, but sure. But now we have the Sauroman trigger, which means that each opponent will mill 2 cards. And because my second spell is a CMC of 3, I can cast a CMC 3 or less from anyone's graveyard of my opponent's graveyard. That is an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. And I'm actually looking at Pontus' graveyard because he has that tempting Toxic Deluge. 12 life and go down to 3 life. And that triggers Planar Chaos. Flip a coin, and tails is counter. Heads again! We have a Toxic Deluge!
Once again, you shouldn't do this, but I would love for my nixilis to survive right now. I would like to tap this Felwar Stone, cast a Demonic Consultation. As before, heads is counter. Let's hope I don't have the same luck as Jewel. It's heads. Never mind.
I really love how my planar chaos is working totally in my favor. The spells I want to happen, and the spells I don't want to happen, they don't happen. There's nothing random here. It's controlled red chaos.
I was gonna name Orcish Bowmasters and then flash it in after the Toxic Deluge.
I guess Toxic results then and kills the board, even my board as well. Oh, we will. Past my turn.
I would like to shock in this Watery Grave to cast a Sol Ring. Trigger Planar Chaos. Heads, it resolves. I flip a. Tails, it's countered. I pass the turn.
I'll untap. Now I have an upkeep trigger. Heads, this disappears. Tails, it stays. I kind of want it to disappear. Tails, I got tails. It stays. I will draw a card for turn. Let's play this mountain. Now this planar case is mine, and it's as I said before, it's controlled chaotic. So it of course was gonna obey my will. So I'm gonna cast this Mana Crypt, and heads, it disappears, and tails, it stays. I flip tails, it stays. Now let's see if we can actually resolve the important spell. I wanna announce and cast my Slicer for 5 mana. There we go. Heads, it's safe, and tails, it goes away. Heads! We have a Slicer! I would like to equip this Mask of Memories. Snuske, I'm attacking you for 3 damage.
No blocks.
You take 3, and I will draw 2 cards, and I will discard Heretic Ritual, and then it transforms, and then I pass the turn.
And roll for Crypt. Heads is good. It's heads. I will draw for turn. I would like to cast a Twin Flame, targeting Slicer.
Save me, Planar Chaos!
Heads is safe. Heads!
No!
I would like to hold priority. I would like to cast a Dualcaster Mage. Trigger Planar Chaos.
Save me this time instead!
It's heads! I have a Dualcaster Mage on the stack.
I do have one interaction for you, Snuske. I would like to make you an offer you can't refuse. It is Planar Chaos, so let's take a moment and pray to the god of luck.
Save me, Planar Chaos!
And it is heads! It is countered! I pass priority.
This is so bad! I will tap 2 mana to cast a Tainted Pact. Trigger Planar Chaos.
Save me, Planar Chaos!
Heads is safe. I will flip tails.
Oh, God.
I guess it's up to me. Well, technically, I was the one putting the Kelana players into play. I've done my thing. I pass on the Dualcaster Mage. I have nothing in my hand.
What? Why are you doing this to me?
It's random. I'm not in control. It's mono red chaotic control. I promise.
We literally have proof of you saying it's not random earlier in the video.
I lied.
We're safe from the chaotic chaos of the Planar Chaos because when Dualcaster Mage enters the battlefield, it targets Twin Flame, and then it copies the Twin Flame, targeting itself, which we all know makes an infinite amount of Dualcaster Mages. But the interesting part here is that the copies are not cast because they're created on the stack. So Planar Chaos does not trigger. So we get to bypass and just make a bunch of Dualcaster Mages with haste. Move to combat. I have Googleplex amount of Dualcaster Mages. I would like to attack everyone with actually Googleplex amount of Dualcaster Mages each. I don't think my opponents have enough life to deal with this, so I think I win.
We were really trying. Slicer was really capable of getting into play here, but it was removed a little bit too much to be able to stick around and do its thing.
That multi-4 was pretty rough. Maybe we should have gone lower, but going to 3 is never nice, and we just never got any castable spells in our hands, so we didn't really get anywhere. Good game.
Alright, so I guess the Planar Chaos is more positive to the active player then.
I'm kind of sad that first wheel didn't resolve still, but at least Chaos was on our side. Very, very funny game.